Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing really well. Now for today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different and talk to you guys about my finances and how I manage my finances on a day-to-day basis and really give you insight on how I actually spend my six-figure salary. So yeah, if you guys are interested, then please keep watching and yeah, let's just get started. So I just want to start off by prefacing that I'm not here to brag about my salary or compare salaries. I'm basically here to just show you guys how I categorize or how I bucket my expenses on a fortnightly basis, because that's how I get paid from my working job. It can really be applicable to anyone that's, earning a salary. So be it like 20K, 50K, 100K, whatever it is. I feel like everyone has to go through this process and, figure out how they want to organize and manage their money. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing today, and just showing you guys how I organize and categorize my salary into a few different buckets. I think for me, I definitely like knowing where my money is going and how I'm spending it. And I like keeping track of everything entirely, just so that I've got, a good amount of transparency and awareness of, what my savings are looking like and how I can eventually grow my savings over time. Hence why I place so much importance on making sure that I budget well and I'm on top of my expenses and finances. I feel like if you're just strict enough with your money and you want to see your money and your savings grow over time, then literally anyone can really do this. So this video is purely and mainly about the salary that I earn in my 9-to-5 job, my working job as a risk consultant. So I just want to talk about that salary and how I manage and bucket and organize my expenses for that salary. And the other source of income that I earn, which is the YouTube money. I'm not going to really talk about that because that obviously fluctuates and it's just very volatile, and I don't really have a set amount that's coming through each month. So I'm going to leave that to the side. So the salary that I earn is obviously the gross amount, but the net amount is minus taxes. I'm basically minus any student loans that I've got. So I definitely have a student loan. I went to uni and studied, and I've got HECS or higher education loan debt, I think it's called now, I'm not too sure. But minus all of that, I'm going to talk through how I organize and categorize my expenses for the fortnightly pay that I get, because I get paid on a fortnightly basis. So yeah. First thing that I like doing is making sure that I've got a budget. Now, I think this is very important because you get to just pre-plan and organize and see where you want your money to be spent over that 2-week period. And then come the end of the 2-week period, you can actually go back and trace and track and see how you've actually managed your money. So I definitely like doing this, and I feel like it makes just a lot more sense for me to do this now that I've moved out of home and I've got a roommate. So we obviously share a lot of the expenses and we go half on everything. So yeah, it's just a good way to see where our money is going and see where we can identify opportunities to save more money. And yeah, so first thing is definitely having a budget. I use a budget which I've just created on my own, and I'll have a little sort of insert here as to what it looks like. It's just got your main expenses, so your rent, utilities, groceries, takeaway, any personal care, miscellaneous, any transportation, just general, day-to-day expenses. So I categorize it under there, and I input and I plug in all the numbers which I sort of predict I'm going to be spending over that 2 weeks, and then come at the end of the 2 weeks, I go back and analyze and just make sure that I am on track. So I've got 5 main buckets which I categorize my expenses in. So the first one is your rent and your utilities. So this is basically my rent, my Wi-Fi, my electricity, and my water bill, all categorized into one. And this is obviously inevitable because I am renting at the moment. I don't have my own place. I don't plan to have my own place for a while. So this is just what it is, and I've just got to cop it and pay my rent and utilities. My rent and utilities combined make up about 24% of my fortnightly pay, which I think is fine. I mean, I've decided to move out of home, so I need to obviously pay that rent. I feel like that's something that I'm willing to forego, and I'm just really happy to pay it and forget about it. So, and with those expenses, I feel like there's not really much I can really control, because those are fixed costs, and I'm okay with it because I'm able to save on the other costs that I've got, which are a little bit more variable. So that's bucket number 1. Bucket number 2 is my food and groceries and any takeaways. Just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, I don't really like to spend too much on takeout. I feel like it's just so expensive and really like adds up over the weeks. So if you can, you know, prepare your own meals and just meal prep, I feel like is the best way to go about saving money on that front. As a person, I only have takeout maybe once or twice max a week. That's what I limit it to, because I feel like if there's anything more, then I'm obviously not going to be saving as much as I would like to. So yeah, I only have takeout for like those rainy days where I don't feel like cooking, pairing and like cooking up meals. So that's when I'll order some takeaway. But other than that, I really try not to spend too much on takeaway. So over the 2 weeks, my groceries and takeaway expenses proportionate with my fortnightly pay makes up about 6% of my pay. I feel like that's a good figure, it's reasonable. So the next category is personal care. So obviously with the whole ISO period, everything's sort of in a lockdown and it's all shut, so we don't have access to like, you know, our beauticians, our gyms, but I've sort of included this to give you guys an indication of what it would look like in a normal situation. So I'm going to give you guys those figures because I feel like we're going to be back in that situation pretty quickly, and it's just a little bit more realistic and give you guys a better indication of how much I spend in this category. So my personal care is comprised of like my gym membership, my health insurance, which is paid on a fortnightly basis, and my laser hair removal treatments that I get very frequently because I'm Indian, and that just takes out a lot of money from my pay, because I got to make sure that I maintain that schedule, and my eyebrows. So all of that combined makes about 3% of my fortnightly pay. I feel like this is something where I can't really compromise on, because first of all, gym membership, I definitely have to go to the gym, so I really can't compromise on that. And because I've recently moved, I'll need to figure out where I'm gonna go to my new gym, so that could potentially change, but I don't think by much. My health insurance is a fixed cost that I pay on a fortnightly basis, so I can't really save on that. Laser, as I said, is inevitable. I have to do it, otherwise, and eyebrows as well. So I feel like that's something that I can't really compromise on. So that makes about 3% of my fortnightly pay. Number 4, this is transportation to work or anywhere else, because I don't have my own car. So that in total makes up about 4% of my pay. The only way I could save on that is if I decide to work from home more days a week, which I think I will be doing because I'm loving working from home, and it definitely has sort of put everyone in a situation where they're able to realize that you can actually work from home. You don't need to be in the office for your team meetings. You can just dial in, and you really don't need to be face to face with your team. You can definitely do without that, and I've loved working from home. So when I go back to work, I'm definitely going to be asking to work from home a few days a week at least, because I feel like it's just done wonders to my work-life balance. I'm able to do more YouTube and just, you know, take care of my fitness as well, get a little bit more sleep in during the day. So I feel like it's just positive, and productivity has increased immensely, so I don't see why they would say no to that. Number 5 is any miscellaneous spending that I need to do. For example, entertainment, if I was to go out to see like a movie, go shopping, buy clothes, buy like random things for myself. So this is miscellaneous, and this obviously fluctuates on what I need and what I want over that 2-week period. So I've allocated about 3% of my fortnightly pay to this miscellaneous category, so it just depends on what I feel like I want to get over that 2-week period. And just to mention that whenever I do go shopping, and if I was to buy clothes or anything, I usually just get stuff that's on sale. I wouldn't go out and buy a full like priced item, because I feel like it's just so unnecessary, unless it's for like a certain occasion and I definitely need it. So I feel like that's ways where I can save my money and maybe not even spend the amount that I've allocated for the miscellaneous category. Sometimes I can even save that amount completely, but that just depends on what's happening obviously in that time. So those are the 5 categories which I bucket my expenses in. I feel like this is very applicable to a lot of people out there as well. These are just general expenses that everyone sort of has to incur. So if you add all of those expenses up, that brings us to 40% altogether, which means 60% of my fortnightly pay is going towards my savings. So 60% is a decent amount. I'm definitely happy with that. And what I like doing is, once I've sort of calculated all my expenses, I like to started creating a chart, a pie chart, just to sort of visualize and see how much of my money I'm actually saving. And it's just a lot more fun to see, you know, how much you're actually saving. As I mentioned, since it's only capturing any of the money that I earn from my 9-to-5 job, this obviously isn't capturing any of the YouTube income that I make. So that income would essentially just be captured as part of my savings. So that will be 60% of my 9-to-5 pay that's, you know, saved up, plus the YouTube money that I make. That's obviously all going to my savings. And as you guys recall, I did actually do a video on what I spend in a week when I was actually living at home. So mind you, I had no sort of rent or utilities that I needed to pay for, even the grocery. Basically, I was saving majority of my income that I was making. So you can go back and check out that video. I'll actually link it down below in the description box as well if you were interested to see and compare, you know, the things that I'm spending then and what I'm spending now. And because I was living at home before, I had obviously a lot more opportunity to save a lot more of my income. Then I was able to actually purchase my first investment property, which was a massive achievement for me. So super happy about that. So I bought that investment earlier this year. You guys might have recalled that from my previous videos. So that investment is actually a cash flow positive investment, which means that all the rent that I receive is actually covering my expenses, and it's actually already gone up in value because it's in a growth area. So yeah, super thankful for having my friend help me purchase that. So my friend is a buyer's agent who runs a company called Search Property. It just makes the process so much easier because they literally do all the research for you. They locate the property, they do the numbers and the analysis and identify like what sort of returns you'd get. And yeah, it just makes it so much easier if you're looking into investing, because I know I definitely would not have any idea, you know, in this sort of industry. So having someone there who's a professional in what they do just makes so much sense. So yeah, if you guys are interested and you are based in Australia, then I definitely recommend you guys checking his page out. He is a fellow YouTuber as well. I'll link his YouTube channel down below in the description box, so be sure to check that out. But yeah, with that being said, I feel like anyone is sort of able to save some part of their salary that they earn if you are categorizing your expenses in similar buckets to what I sort of categorize mine in. And if you are strict on, you know, how you manage your money, and I feel like if you're like me and you want to invest, then I feel like being savvy with your savings is definitely the way to go. You'll just reach there a lot quicker and you'll see your wealth grow over time. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and found it informative and helpful, and give you guys a little bit of idea and indication on how you can also better manage your expenses as well. So yeah, let me know if you guys like these types of videos, more finance related and more, you know, how you can manage your money a little bit better videos. So yeah, if you like this video, then please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys.